Hi all, this is going to be our video for factoring trinomials with a leading coefficient. And this will be a bonus on our quiz, so make sure to check it out. So on our notes today, we did not get up past this, which was factoring trinomials with a leading coefficient. We did the 4 terms and we even did the 6 terms with grouping, but now we're going to build on it by looking at if we have what we call a leading coefficient. A leading coefficient means that the term in the front, which in this case, if you look at example 2 down here, it has a 6. That number is not a 1. So if you look in the past when we were doing trinomials, we had something like this, x squared plus 5x plus 6. The number in front was a 1, implied to be a 1 every time. But in this case, we don't have a 1, we have a 6. So it's a little bit more interesting. So these are the steps that you're going to follow in the box. The first thing you're going to do is multiply the coefficient of the first term, which we call the A, by the last term, which we call the C. So if you remember, quadratics are in the form y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, where the a and the c are the numbers that I'm referring to here. So on the side, I want you to write a times c. So 6 times negative 6 is negative 36. Now we're going to follow the steps that we did for regular trinomial, which was the AM method. We want to know the two factors that multiply to AC and add up to the middle term, which is called B. Okay, so we're going to list our factors of 36 and then we'll worry about the negative in a second. So go to y equals, let's just do 36 divided by x. And then go to your table and you're going to look for the factors of 36, okay? So we have 1 and 36, 2 and 18, 3 and 12, 4 and 9, right? And don't worry about the negative yet. Now we're going to look at the middle term, which is the B term. Do you see that the B term is positive 5? So I want to make a positive 5. So hopefully you realize that when you multiply, you can pick 4 and 9. And when you add, you can make 5 if one of them is a negative sign. So my rule that I do is I say the bigger number gets the middle sign. So 9 is bigger than 4, so 9 gets the middle sign. The sign on the B is positive 5. I want to add up to positive 5x eventually. So I'm going to do positive 9 and negative 4. The bigger number gets the middle sign. Okay, so now what we're going to do is here comes the fun, interesting part. We're going to take our 3 terms and we're now going to split up this middle term into 2 separate terms. Basically, what we're going to do is make this into a 4-term problem. So yes, it was 3 terms. We're going to make it into 4 terms. Equivalent, okay? So it was positive 5x. We're going to make it into positive 9x and negative 4x. I like to write the bigger number first, but you don't have to. So positive 9x and negative 4x. Now, you may be like, well, is that legal? It actually is legal. And these 2 terms, when you add them together or when you subtract 9 minus 4, you will get that middle term, which is positive 5. So this plus this, or this minus this, will equal positive 5. So now I'm just going to bring down the rest exactly the same. So I'm going to bring down my 6x squared, which is my first term, and I'm going to still bring down my negative 6, which was my last term, and now I have a 4-term problem. So this is kind of nice because now I know how to do this based on what we just learned with the 4 terms and the grouping. So before you do anything, just remind yourself, does this original problem, does this original, is that equivalent to what we just made? And it should be, because if you add those 2 middle terms, you should get back to 5x in the middle. All right, so now we're going to go into grouping. So here we go. Group the first 2 terms together, do the GCF. Group the second 2 terms together, do the GCF. What is the GCF of 6x squared and 9x? I'm hoping you said 3x. because 3 goes into both of these and they have an x in common. So remember, when you divide, you subtract exponents. So we're going to get 2x to the first plus 3, because these x's cancel out. And now I want my bubble to match. I want this bubble to say the same thing, 2x plus 3. So think about what am I going to take out of these two terms to make it positive 2x plus 3? It's negative, negative. How am I going to make it into a positive, positive? So hopefully you realize 2 goes into both of these, but if you divide by a negative 2, that's going to change all the signs. So now this will become, negative 2 here. And now this will become positive 2x, and then negative 6 divided by negative 2 will be plus 3. All right, now we have matching terms. That's nice. So now our bubbles are the same. This becomes the new common bubble, GCF 2x plus 3. And then what's left over on the outside goes in the other bubble, 3x minus 2. And we're done. So this is our final answer. Okay, I'm going to do one more with you right now. Okay, let's pick up the pace. Here we go. Let's do A times C. So the A term is 3 and the C term is 7. What's 3 times 7? I'm hoping you said it's 21. And now you think about the factors of 21. 1 and 21, 3 and 7. Oh, 3 and 7. We already knew that. And we want to add up to the middle term. We want to add up to 10. So 3 and 7 is good because 3 plus 7 is 10. So we're going to break this down into 7x plus 3x. And this is a little easier actually because the signs are the same. They're all positive signs. It's nice. So bring down the first term, 3x squared. Bring down the 7, the same. And then just check yourself. Make sure that these two middle terms are equal to that middle b term, which was 10. 7 plus 3 equals 10. Yes, it's equivalent. So now we're going to keep going with 4 terms and grouping. Group the first 2 terms together, do the GCF. Group the second 2 terms together, do the GCF separate. GCF of these two is x. What's left over? It should be 3x plus 7. And I want this to equal 3x plus 7. Well, wait a minute. It already does equal x plus 7. So you may be saying like 3x plus 7. Well, what do I do here? Well, you could take out a 1. 1 goes into everything, right? So then you're going to get 3x plus 7. So this is going to be positive 1 is the GCF of everything. 3x plus 7. These are in common. What's going to go on the other side? It's left over. And we're done. All right.